right here on Real Talk 93.3. Joining us on the phone, our good friend, Congressman Michael Waltz. How you doing, my friend? Congressman, how you doing this morning?
Hey, doing great. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you. I'm glad you got to meet new producer Matt on the phone there, and he'll be chatting with you as we move forward and everything. It's on your Twitter. You sat down with Mission Roll Call and to talk about a very important issue with veteran suicide. Explain how y'all's conversation went, because it seems like y'all had a very lengthy talk with these guys.
Yeah, we did. This is a Mission Roll Call is a wonderful organization for veterans. One of its founder and its main supporter is a gentleman by the name of Bernie Marcus, that you may have heard of, co-founder of Home Depot, who is, what I love about America, has enjoyed tremendous success and is now giving back. Look, it's unacceptable that we're losing 20 to 22 veterans a day. I mean, that's losing upwards of a brigade of soldiers a year in combat. I can tell you, just 2 weeks ago, I talked to one of my special operators. As you know, Green Beret by background, and talked him off the ledge, got him help. He had a tremendous case of survivor's guilt. And we're just not seeing the results that we need, despite the fact that the Department of Veterans Affairs is throwing more and more and more money at the problem. We're not seeing the results. One of the things that I like that Mission Roll Call is looking to do, and that I support, I think across the board, we need a menu of options. So when that veteran goes in to get help, that provider should be able to provide service dogs, should be able to provide hyperbaric chambers, medicinal marijuana if it's legal in that state, not just a bag of drugs. Opioid, and say, good luck, veteran, have a good day. Should have a full menu, and we need to do a better job, and I'm working with them, both in the private sector, the nonprofit, and with legislation.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. We talked to Canines for Veterans, a wonderful organization started in Jacksonville a couple weeks ago, about the wonderful stuff that they're doing, and it's just that we need to let all these veterans know that you're not alone out there, that and I think that so many feel that they are, and they just getting that word out to say that you have so much support. It's just sometimes they just feel it's tough for them to find, and thank you for advocating for all your brothers and sisters and everything for them to get help. Yes.
Get this very quickly.
Yeah.
The VA has been studying whether service dogs are effective for over 6 years. Drives me insane. As everybody who's worked with a veteran knows, service dogs not only are helpful, helps them socialize, gets them outside, helps veterans with night terrors. Dogs have an intuition when it comes to that. And every veteran that I've talked to, every single one, it's reduced the amount of medications that they're on when they're dealing with PTS or others drastically. So we finally passed legislation this year to get service dogs in the hands of veterans provided by the VA, but they were frankly resisting it, and I just don't understand it. It drives me insane.
That's just head scratching. It's just absolutely head scratching, and just I'm literally shaking my head and scratching my head right now. It's just that's insane. Primaries yesterday. We had some good local races here. Also paid attention to some good state races. Any ones that stuck out to you that surprised you within our great state of Florida?
Well, we in Florida's 3rd district, where you had Gainesville, Ocala, that area. We had almost a 10-way Republican primary.
I saw that.
Kat Kamek pulled that out, and just the way the district's drawn, she will likely be the next female Republican congresswoman. So that's very exciting. My colleague Ross Spano was defeated, but his primary challenger looks like he'll be an outstanding Republican representative, but he's still got a tough race ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
So we had, when anytime you have a sitting incumbent get defeated in a primary, that's always newsworthy and something of a surprise. I thought Congressman Spano was doing a good job, but he did have some things hanging over his head. And at the end of the day, we need to keep that seat. We absolutely need to keep that seat red.
Yeah, we need. We had a 39% turnout here for the primaries yesterday. 76,000 out of 212,000 registered voters. That our supervisor of election was happy with that return. I'm not happy with that return, but November is where we really need those numbers to just explode.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because for everybody listening, if you are a Republican, if you're a conservative, and you have a vote-by-mail ballot, if you're sitting on a ballot, please send it in.
Mm-hmm.
Fill that thing out and send it in. Florida does it right. We've been doing it for years. We're not like Nevada, where they're just blasting ballots around everywhere, unverified. We have very strict verification mechanisms in place. And I'll be interested to see the data, but we were a little bit down in terms of our turnout running into this primary because people are concerned by the vote-by-mail issue. But Florida does it right. Nevada, New York, other states, that's where the president's concerned. And I just want to make that distinction.
Yeah, that's we've got 60. Well, hopefully all the counties, we can say 67 of 67 are doing it right. How's Washington? How's everything going up there with being called back and working on stuff that just seems to just that they don't want any input from you?
Yeah.
Or they do, but they don't. They're like, here, give us your input, but shut up.
Yeah, they're not going to take it.
Yeah.
Look, the post office has had issues for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
Loses money year over year. It's quasi-government, quasi-private entity like Amtrak, and the taxpayer has to subsidize it every year. Look, I love my post office. Everybody loves their postal delivery man, but at the end of the day, the entity has to work and has to be efficient. So what the Democrats have done has taken effort that many administrations have been trying to do to fix the post office, including the Trump administration, overlaid that with President Trump saying he has big concerns about vote by mail, and they've taken structural changes he's tried to make in the post office and said he's trying to tamper with the vote, right, and conflated those two and watered those two issues. Right. So now we're having this kind of faux outrage on some of these drop-off boxes getting moved around where they're just trying to make it more efficient. If you have one sitting out in the area that has two letters in it, right, and you've got then they're trying to make those routes more efficient. But that's it's typical politics as usual, and so they're going to use that to then. There's also a huge pension issue with the postal workers, and they're going to use that to basically pour more money into that.
Oh, wonderful! I'm glad we could pour more money into both sides.
Right.
Oh my gosh!
More of your listeners' money. You would think that there's this magic pot of money up here in the federal government when you talk to the Democrats. But hey, very quickly, I wanted to talk about if you guys didn't catch AOC's 1-minute speech.
Yes, her Bernie speech.
Yes, she made the most of her 1 minute. She was very upset that she only got 1 minute. And nominated Bernie Sanders, but the list of grievances in misogyny, colonialization. I guess the United States was now a colonial power. I thought we were a colony that fought against colonialization, but regardless, the whole list of grievances just really exemplifies what we're seeing from the left. What I have to see every day, that America doesn't, in their view, doesn't need reform. It doesn't need to be improved. It needs to be completely broken down and rebuilt in their image. And that's when they start talking about stacking the Supreme Court, when they talk about the Electoral College. Truly rebuilding this country in their image, of their socialist image. And she ended the speech talking about the mass movement of the people. Sounds pretty Marxist to me. And nominating Bernie Sanders. But the thing I want to get across is we have to stop dismissing her and Bernie and others, they will dominate Washington, D.C. if Biden gets in. Because if Biden gets in, we likely lose the Senate. They'll get rid of the filibuster. And in order for Pelosi to be speaker again, the progressives, the left, will say, here's our agenda you're going to put on Biden's desk. And all of those things that we kind of laugh at, they will make law. And that's what's at stake and why everybody has to get out to vote.
Yeah, November is very, very important for everybody to go out and vote because the chess pieces are being moved, and the chess pieces are the way they're moving is not in a good direction to where it's going to be checkmate in November if people don't get out and cast their votes.
Well, and the first pieces they're going to move will make it almost impossible for us to get back into power by making D.C. a state, 2 more senators, and by taking ballot harvesting national, which is the first bill that Pelosi passed this Congress, and it'll be the first thing she puts on a presumptive President Biden's desk to take what California does in their voting national, which will make it incredibly difficult for us to ever get back.
Oh, my gosh. Well, usually we talk about fun stuff at the end, but now I'm just depressed.
I know. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm sorry it's early.
No, it's fine.
People shouldn't be drinking after talking.
I'm going to go pound a shot right now. No, I went off on the low percentage at 6:15 in the morning. I was like, why am I yelling at everybody at 6:15 in the morning? We should be enjoying this beautiful day and thanking the Lord that we've got another day. Congressman, thank you so much, my friend, for calling in this morning, and we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, and I'll find a good, fun topic for us to end up on.
Fair enough.
All right, talk to you soon, my friend.